Imagine you plan the perfect vacation, only to find out you can't go. These are places where visitors aren't welcomed anymore. Some of them were closed, surprisingly for interesting reasons. Secret government locations, too many tourist-damaging sites, and other causes have made these places post a no-entry sign. There's a good reason for that. If you think paradise is always open, this is the end. We're going to show you the top 10 places that you can't visit anymore and explain why they're closed. Believe me, some of these will surprise you. Get ready because you won't believe what is at the top of this list. Number 10. Svalbard Global Seed Vault, Norway. Svalbard Global Seed Vault, located in the far north on the Norwegian island of Svalbard, holds nearly 1 million seed samples and is one of the most important safe places on Earth. Each of these samples contains thousands of seeds. People can use these seeds to help recover crops after things like wars, terrorism, or natural disasters. The cost to run the vault is paid for by the Norwegian government and its donors. It is very secure, so only a few select people can go inside. But because it's such a big deal, most probably it's a good thing. Number 9. Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center, USA. Government officials may know about the Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center if they work in the House of Representatives or the Senate. The center is an essential place located in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, where top civilian and military leaders go in case of national disasters or terrorist attacks. Although the site has only been reported to be used once so far throughout 9/11, it remains very strategically vital for being a solid base of operations for continued governments if Washington, D.C. were to ever fall. With that in mind, it should come as no surprise that regular people like us are not allowed to go in. Number 8. Maya Bay, Thailand. Not many people have visited Thailand's great beaches, but Maya Bay on the island of Koh Phi Phi is no exception. Appearing in the 2000 film The Beach made it really popular, and by 2015, it already welcomed 1.2 million visitors, mostly international visitors. The majority of the visitors went there to swim in crystal clear waters and to see the spectacular glowing plankton. However, the overwhelming number of visitors and damage caused by the filming was disastrous to the beach's ecosystem, causing it to greatly suffer. As a result, in an effort to allow the beach to renew itself, in 2019, the Thai government closed Maya Bay to visitors. There are ongoing efforts on site with the hope of restoring coral and removing waste so that in the future, the beach will be rejuvenated. Number 7. Morgan Island, USA. Morgan Island is located off the coast of South Carolina. The 4,400-acre island has been off-limits to visitors since 1979. Originally, the island was uninhabited until several rhesus monkeys were brought in from Puerto Rico, who subsequently made it their habitat. Some were used for research and linked to the spread of the herpes B virus, which presented a health risk. The researchers selected the island as a safe location to conduct their research. Today, it is operated by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Over 3,500 monkeys inhabit a tropical forest close to the shoreline. Due to the risk of disease, direct access to the animals is highly restricted. Feeding is done via an automated feed dispenser system from a building close to the location. Potential visitors are rarely granted permission, except for a few researchers who have adhered to strict quarantine directives. The island is often called Monkey Island because of this special ongoing research project. Number 6. Uluru, Australia. The largest natural landmark in Australia, Uluru sits about 208 miles southwest of Alice Springs in the Northern Territory. This massive sandstone rock is 1,142 feet tall and was a popular tourist destination during the 1930s when it was called Ayers Rock. However, long before Europeans colonized Australia, Uluru was very spiritual and sacred for Indigenous Australians and treated with reverence. During modern times, this monolith was not just a physical barrier, but also a cultural one. Many visitors disrespected the sacred site by doing things like drinking alcohol or removing their clothes at the site. In 2017, it was decided that visitors could no longer climb the monolith, and in October 2019, this rule became effective. Today, visitors can only view the landmark from an area close by. Photographers are forbidden from taking photos at certain angles so as not to be disrespectful to ancient traditions. In fact, Google Earth has blurred out images considered to be disrespectful of this sacred place. If you liked the video so far, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You won't want to miss the rest of this list. Let's continue. Number 5. Mezhgorye, Russia. Mezhgorye is a town in the southern Ural Mountains in Russia. About 16,000 people live there, but it's completely cut off from the outside world. It was founded in 1979 and became officially a town in 1995. It's thought to contain secret Russian military projects, including one connected to an underground base hidden in the mountains. The reason it is so secretive is the fact that it only allows government workers and their families. It is thought that during the Cold War, Mezhgorye stored 73 nuclear warheads and may be connected to Russia's Dead Hand project, an automatic system capable of launching nuclear attacks. Some say it may also hide traces of aliens or advanced weapons. The truth isn't clear, but one thing is for sure. Tourists or regular people are not permitted to enter, and anyone trying to get too close will be told to leave by armed guards. Number 4. Poveglia, Italy. The Venetian Lagoon in northern Italy is part of the Adriatic Sea and has several islands, including Venice. Venice is built on 118 small islands connected by more than 400 bridges. One of the nearby islands is Poveglia, which is now abandoned and has limited access because of its dark history. People lived there until 1379, but the island was left empty during a war. In 1776, it became a place to quarantine people with signs of diseases like the plague. Poveglia kept patients for almost a century before it was turned into a mental hospital in 1922, then abandoned in 1968. Many people died there due to disease and ill treatment, and now this island is known as one of the most haunted places in the world. Today, the principal fear is the potential existence of ancient infections in the soil, and there are harsh penalties for people who attempt to visit. Number 3. Pluto's Gate, Türkiye, Turkey. Pluto's Gate in ancient Hierapolis, modern Türkiye, was a lethal site known to the Greeks. It's dedicated to Pluto, god of the underworld, and features a little cave that's presumably dangerous. It is said that only the most devout could enter without danger. Ancient writers often describe the deadly nature of the cave, and the building in front of it once served as an ominous space where visitors could purchase animals to test the cave's lethal power. What seemed like a myth has a scientific explanation. Cracks in the surrounding rock release carbon dioxide, an invisible gas denser than air. This gas fills the cave, suffocating anyone who enters and breathes normally. Because it is still hazardous, today people are not allowed to approach Pluto's Gate. Visitors are forced to stand at a distance so as not to be poisoned by the toxic gas. Number 2. Niʻihau Island, USA. Niʻihau is the westernmost and 7th largest island in the state of Hawaii, measuring 69 square miles, located 17.5 miles southwest of Kauai. The Forbidden Island is largely off-limits to most visitors due to a political deal that arose when it was sold to Elizabeth Sinclair in 1864 for $10,000, or about $170,000 today. The closest one can get to visiting the island is with a half-day helicopter tour. Sinclair's descendants, the Robinson family, still own the island, control who can go there, and largely live apart from the rest of the world. Even the dialect spoken is somewhat frozen in time. Only family members, US Navy staff, government workers, and a few invited guests are allowed to enter. The small community of about 170 people take care of themselves by farming and do not pay rent. Residents share meat with each other and use solar power for electricity. There are no vehicles, so horses are the main way to get around the island. The island has a long relationship with the US military, which has a small base and is sometimes used as a training site. Number 1. Heart Reef, Australia. Some of the most amazing things worldwide are coral reefs, but surely one of them in Australia looks best in photos. This is called Heart Reef. It forms part of the Great Barrier Reef, but it is a bit separate from the larger part and, by chance, has grown into the shape of a heart. The water used to be crystal clear and abound with many different creatures, so this place became an important part of many tourism campaigns, attracting many snorkelers and divers who wanted to see it for themselves. As is often the case, however, the increased traffic wore down parts of the reef structure, and it was soon feared that if things continued at the same pace, Heart Reef could become irreparably damaged within a few years. Now, no one is allowed to get even a glimpse, and the only way you can take your own picture of the beautiful spot is by hiring a helicopter to fly over it. Which place on this list were you not expecting? Do you have any of these places on your travel bucket list? Or are there some others that should be included in the list? Comment below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with other travel fans.